This is from the Petty Corner. I'm Petty Diana, and today I have Aaron Turner here with me. He just made his debut at Power Slap 10 against Brian Ellis. Welcome to the Petty Corner, Aaron.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Okay, so we didn't know anything about you before you got put on this card. How did you get into the sport?
I think just like anybody else, like there's an application online, I bet there's like thousands, maybe even more now of applicants, looking to get into Power Slap. And just, seeing the growth of it from Power Slap 1 and then when they seeing Power Slap 10, the amount of athletes have really come in. So it's just for me, just lucky with the opportunity, got hit up by Erica and Frank with the opportunity, and I just took it.
Yeah, so it sounds like you've kind of been a fan for a while then. You've been following it since
hmm
the first one. Were you concerned when they call you to just go on a card instead of going into the house as a contestant on the show?
Not for me, I'm never someone that, walks away from, any type of competition whatsoever. So I knew that, once I was going to be going against a main card guy, like Brian Ellis, who, I well for your respect as, a main card guy, I was just, I was excited. I was ecstatic, to have an opportunity like that, and I got to give a shout out to Brian Ellis for allowing me to have that opportunity, he's working towards a heavyweight championship and he takes an undercard. So, I mean, that takes a lot for somebody and someone like Brian. So I was just grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, and did they air it yet? I'm not sure.
No, not yet. But
Okay,
hopefully
so
sooner
I was
rather than later.
with Slap News sitting, so we got to see it live and stuff. So I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it. So we won't talk about it.
I already talked about it on Slap News, so yeah.
Huh?
I've already talked about it on Slap News, so I think at this point
Oh, you
we're
did?
good. Yeah.
Okay. But what made you want to join? Like, you're sitting there watching at your house on TV, and it's a crazy sport to get in, right?
hmm
So I just like to hear everyone's reasoning, like, oh, I wanted to do it for this or this. But did you just think that you could do it, or just something fun to try?
I mean, like you said, it is a crazy sport. I mean, you'd have to be crazy to have someone like come up and slap you without a doubt. But, definitely something, that I have a competitiveness. So that was just something, I felt like, that this sport was going to grow and it has, over time, since the first power slap, it's gradually grown. Like they started out in Vegas and then started moving around a bit. Now, like, Abu Dhabi, which I'm bummed I kind of missed that opportunity, but I thought Vegas was more my stomping ground, something, that I was going to enjoy. So, seeing like the growth and seeing people watching it and investing in it is a big deal, and that's something I want to be a part of, so that really sparked my interest.
That's awesome. They will be going back to Abu Dhabi, so you might get another chance to go.
We'll see.
Yeah. Do you have any combat sports history? Like I know you played college football, right?
hmm
But did you do like any kind of combat sports as well, or this is your first shot?
Mostly just college football. I played a little bit of football after college for a little bit, just jumped around a couple of leagues, stuff like that. Had some tryout opportunities. I'm in jujitsu right now. I do a little bit of MMA every now and then, just kind of keep the cardio up a little bit. So, um, what you saw from Friday was my first experience. Going against a competitor in a combat sport. So that was my first time.
Well, that's awesome.
hmm
It was a great performance, by the way.
Thank you.
But what belt in jujitsu are you?
So currently I'm still working on a white, hopefully moving my way up to a blue belt eventually. That's something, I'm looking forward to, but, just, still working on my craft a little bit.
Hey, you got to start somewhere. I'm
hmm
also a white belt too. So. um, okay, but you played at Western Oregon
hmm
University, correct?
Yes, correct.
So are you from Oregon, or did you just live there to play football?
I'm from there. I was in Vegas for a little bit, every now and then, but mostly just from Oregon. So went to school there, had a successful career there, and then just got some looks to try out for some pro teams. Went to a couple leagues to play in, but right now just kind of just working like a regular person, and then there's obviously Power Slap is growing, so maybe an opportunity in the future. We'll see.
Yeah. So what do you do for work, like outside of Power Slam?
So I do executive protection. I do a little bit of armed security every now and then, and I work in PI. I just got certified, back in May, so I've been doing a little bit of that too as well. So I'm always keeping myself on my toes a little bit. So that's kind of my background, what I do.
That's really awesome. So I don't know what it is about the heavyweight division, but we get like a lot of ex football players or college football players and security guards.
hmm
So there's gonna be like interesting matchups and storylines coming for you,
Oh, without a doubt.
coming up for you.
hmm
Okay, so the new rankings did come out, and they did not even put you on the list, which it could be confusing to some people. But how do you feel about that? Because you took, well, shoot.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You can say it now.
No,
It's over with. You
because
can
I
say
didn't
it
want to
now.
talk about what happened at your match. But yeah, how do you feel about not coming up on the rankings?
I mean, obviously, it's upsetting. A lot of people that are in the heavyweight division, I want to give out respect to them. Every single, contender, deserves to be on that list. But, for me, I obviously believe, I deserve to be up on the list. And I know you can't say it, but I will say it. I took down the, number 4 heavyweight. So I think, he moved down 2 spots and I wasn't mentioned. And I know a lot of the guys and a lot of the fans kind of commented, why didn't that happen? And some guys are like, well, it's his first match. You still have a lot, to learn and a lot to you got to show a little bit more than just, that, okay, we get it. You got some power, but there's other guys on there that are deserving of a chance as well. So, unfortunately, I wasn't ranked. I feel like I deserve to be ranked, absolutely. But, a couple guys that have reached out, one guy that called me out, which I won't say who, says, that he would love to, compete against me and, show me some real competition and understand like there's levels to work at. So it's very humbling to hear that.
Wow. Well, I can't wait to get the tea on that.
Hmm.
But so you were a fan. You've been watching for a while. How did you prepare going into this? Because there is some coaching gyms in the U.S. for this, but there's not really too many. It's not like you can just walk into like a boxing gym or like a UFC, like MMA gym, and just get training that people have been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years. So
Hmm.
how did you get prepared to go on stage?
I think for me, it started with like doing combat sports. I did a little bit of MMA and jujitsu for about a year now. And honestly, when I got there, I got more coaching actually leading up to the competition. So, like, I got to give a shout out to Luke Simons. I got to give a shout out to the Crazy Hawaiian, Pono, the Hawaiian Assassin, as well as, Coach Rob. They really perfected my craft, which was really huge going into somebody who wasn't just a guy that was debuting or just a regular guy off the street. Brian Ellis, a main contender guy and still is a main contender guy, was somebody that I was going against. So it was very humbling to meet guys like that wanted to really help out, and really just critique your craft. So that was something, that I took as coachable. I always felt like I was a coachable person. No matter how big I was or, how much power I have in my strike, there's still plenty of things that they taught me that, really were beneficial and a big outcome of my victory.
I love it. And now that you had that first experience, you can watch back your tape, you can critique yourself and figure out things to work on for next time when you come back. But can you describe to me like what you were feeling when you were taking the fighter walk to the stage? Like I would be so nervous, but like what was running through your head?
Through my competitive background, I've experienced being around crowds of 10,000 or more. So I don't really think about the crowd when I get in. When I just got up on stage, like the lights hit you and everything like that. It's honestly for me, it's just go time. So I mean, when I'm facing, my opponent, I never really saw it as me versus you. It's always me versus me because I felt like I'm always my biggest critic. So it was very humbling experience. Kind of just walk in to the arena and like just to like see some celebrities and stuff like that. Just it wasn't something that really was phasing me at all. I was just content to just competing and coming out with a win.
Were you able to watch the rest of the fights after your match?
I was able to watch a couple of the fights. I had to do the typical like evaluation at the end of it and everything like that, and then just being greeted by my teammates. I was just full of adrenaline. Like I was just wanting for more. So I mean, it was good to see my teammates with a lot of victories on the blue side. That was very exciting as well as the after party. Getting to meet you, which was it was great to meet you. A couple
Yeah.
other amazing people I got to meet. So it was fun. It was a fun experience. I think Power Slap 10 really put themselves on the map and for future events to happen.
Was that your first ever live event that you were able to watch?
It was for Power Slap, yeah. So it was a much different experience than seeing it on TV or on Rumble, So it was good to actually see it in person and like kind of like be behind the scenes a little bit. It's a different feeling.
Yeah. And I try to tell people that and they're like, no, you're crazy. I'm like,
Hmm.
no, but like, you don't understand. You just need to go out there and watch it.
Right.
And being a fan, it's like a way cooler experience being there.
Yeah.
than what you like, sitting on the couch and watching it.
Exactly.
But is there like a time frame that you want to come back to compete again? Because you seem ready.
Well, I mean, we'll just see what happens. It's honestly it's up to the Power Slide committee and Dana White. And of course, myself of if I'm up for it. But I'm always ready for any competition. But just for right now, I'm kind of focused on family and work right now until the opportunity arises and it's the right decision. Then I'm ready for it.
I love it. Do you see any opponents that you would like to go against to to get you in the ranking or just to get you more experience on your next one?
Well, after the fight, a lot of people, were kind of giving me comparisons to some guys or some guys they felt like would be a good matchup. And obviously, as much as I'd love to go for the belt, I got to work my way up the rankings and I got to earn that respect from the heavyweight division. I'd had to start out with Nate Bernard. He's a football guy as well. Got to
And
respect
security.
that, and he works security for the Buffalo Bills. So I mean, and very physique guy, very strong guy. I would definitely love to go against, that guy. And I got to give a shout out to Wes Manna. I don't know if I said his last name right. I apologize. He called me out actually and said, he gave me, he just gave me praise for, getting the knockout. But, he's a guy that's a performance guy. He's ready to go. He's also a football guy, also works in, security as well. So, I mean, I definitely love the call out. I don't take it as a negative. He wants to put on a show, he wants to win, and he wants to put me down. So I mean, I gotta respect that. But I hope he knows that, who he's poking at. Like I'm not just gonna be an undercard guy. Like, I'm a guy that's hungry and ready to compete. And I think he knows that.
Yeah, those are great matchups, by the way.
Mhm.
So because all three of you guys are like really exciting.
Yeah.
So those would be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. I cannot wait to see what's next for you. I feel like the divisions like come in waves
Hmm.
of the excitement, and like the heavyweight division just from like the last couple power slaps card is it's starting to like gain its momentum again, and I just see there's so many great matchups to be made, and I'm so excited to see what's next.
Me too. It was very nice to meet you as well. It was good to meet you at the after party, and it's definitely my honor to be in an interview with you. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. No, it's my honor to have you
Of
here.
course.
All right, I hope you have a great Christmas.
Thank
I'll
you.
talk to you soon.
You as well, and to your family as well.
Thank you.
Of course.